Yo, you action figure enthusiasts out there, JC here with another T&I toy review. And this is my first review for 2021, and for today I'm going to be taking a look at the brand new G.I. Joe Classified 6-inch Special Missions Cobra Island, Firefly, and Cobra Viper figures from Hasbro. Now unfortunately these figures are being sold as Target store exclusives, just like the first round of Cobra Island figures. They have gone up for sale now. Today was the first day, January 1st. However, they have been terribly difficult to get. I had to get up first thing this morning, be at Target when they first opened their door. I had to go to a Target that was about 30 minutes away because the closest Targets to me didn't even have them in stock yet. And then they only had 6 each, and there was a line of people. I was lucky enough to get my hands on these. But nevertheless, you know, just like with the first wave, these seem to be very difficult to get your hands on. Now these figures, they come packaged in the same style that we saw with the previous Cobra Island figures. You've got the figures clearly displayed in the packaging. You've got that Cobra Island logo on the front, as well as the G.I. Joe Classified logo and the names of the characters down below. Off to the side, you've got the artwork for the 2 characters. Then on the side of the packaging, the one side, it's very similar to the figures in the regular line where you've got those symbols and numbering. So with these figures, you've got 21 for Firefly and 22 for the Cobra Viper. The other side of the packaging has additional artwork of the characters, so a bunch of different Vipers for that one, and then just a close-up of Firefly with his drones down below. And then on the back of the packaging, it's again very similar to the figures in the first wave, where you've got that image for on both of just the Cobra Island, and with each character, they've zeroed in on different parts of the island. Alright, so let's get these open and take a look at what's inside. Okay, so here's a look at the figures outside the packaging along with their accessories. So let's start off taking a look at the Firefly figure and all the accessories that come with it. And he does come with quite a few things. But before we actually get into the accessories, I know probably the big question on a lot of your guys' minds, is this vest removable? And the answer is no, or at least Hasbro did not intend the vest to be removable. If you really want to get it off, you could cut it off. It's done very similar to like the Roadblock figure in Wave 1 of the regular line, where it is a separate piece. It's done with a rubber material. You would think it would be removable, but there's no seams or anything to get it off. So you would have to, I'm pretty sure would have to cut it off if you wanted to get it off. And then I don't know how well I can show you on camera, but looking underneath there, it looks like it's just a solid gray paint. So there's no detailing, there's no camo pattern or anything underneath there. So I think the torso section is just a solid gray color. If you're into customization, you might be able to do something cool with it, but otherwise I'd probably recommend you just leave the vest on there. Now for the accessories, we start off with, he comes with a pair of goggles, infrared type goggles. So you've got the red lenses, you've got a little antenna there. So I don't know if he also uses those as like a communication device or what have you, but these are removable. So you can take them off. They're done with just a rubber. You can also, get them down over his eyes, and it does fit pretty good. You might want to take like a hairdryer and loosen up the plastic a little bit on the goggles, and also the same with the goggles that come with the Viper, which I'll show you in a minute. I had to take heat to those goggles just to get it to stay on the head. But you can get it on there pretty good if you play with it. I don't have it totally over his eyes here, but it's hard to do it on camera, but definitely you can get it over his eyes, and again, it does fit pretty good. So I don't know what look you like. Goggles were not something that he had with the original action figure, but it is a feature that they added to him later on with later versions. So I definitely like that. And again, you can just take them off altogether if you want. And then he's got the backpack, and all of the other accessories that are included with this figure can attach to the backpack, which is nice, including his gun, which is probably the least thing I like about as far as the accessories go. I do not like this gun that they included. I wish it was in keeping with the original machine gun that they included with Firefly. This is one of those that really doesn't look like anything real to me, and almost, if anything, it looks more like a shotgun. It's just done with black plastic. You do have some sculpting detail, but I do not like the look of this gun. And like I said, it's the thing I like least as far as the accessories go. But you do have the little peg, so you can plug it into the hole on the side of the backpack. So that is nice. And then also he comes with a stick of dynamite. So that also attaches to the bottom there, and that is removable. So that is in keeping, again, with the original figure, even though it wasn't removable. You know, on his backpack, he did have a thing of dynamite, and, you know, he likes to blow things up. So definitely, I like this accessory. And it's done with just, you know, the red for the dynamite and then black. But you've got some sculpting detail with the wires. So, and then you've just got the little slit here so that you can attach it to the backpack. And it does stay on there firmly. So I like that. You've also got this drone. So that is also something that was not included with the original figure. But he's got a drone that attaches. So the best way to attach this to the backpack is he's got these little slits on the back here and just plug the feet in there. You can also, it seems like you can also just set it on top, but it does not stay on there as well when you set it on top like that. So again, best way is just to slide the feet into these little slits. Now with the drone, again, just done with a black plastic, you do have the red eye. It looks pretty good. You've got some sculpting detail for the vents up here for the fans, and the legs are articulated, so you can do them back and forth. You know, they are individual leg pieces, so you know, you can have them kind of walking around, you can have them folded up, you can have them back like that. So you can, you know, do a number of things with this. Have it spy on people, have it drop dynamite on people. You know, I'm sure he uses it to blow things up. So definitely kind of cool that they added that. And then the final thing that they included, I think this is supposed to be like a remote control for the drone. It is done with just black plastic. You've got the little circle here with this little bit of sculpting detail. It's kind of a big remote control, but I think that's what it's supposed to be. And I like how they made it so you can just fit it inside the backpack when not using it. And then when you have the backpack on, you don't even see it. Now for the backpack itself, you do have some, it's all solid black, but then you have some metallic silver for these knife blades. These look like little knives down here. And then this looks like a wrench or something up there at the top portion of the backpack. And yeah, so I think overall that looks pretty good. So overall, except for the gun, I'm not happy with the gun, but all the other accessories with this figure seem to be pretty cool. And just one other thing to note with the gun, he can hold it in the left or the right hand. He actually has trigger fingers for both, but I think he holds it a little better, or at least it looks a little better in the right hand. Okay, now moving on to the accessories for the Cobra Viper. So again, the Cobra Viper does have goggles that are removable. Now, as I mentioned before, I had to take a hairdryer to loosen the rubber up a little bit so I could actually fit it on the helmet. When I first took it out of the packaging and I was trying to get it on the helmet, it wouldn't stay on there very good, but once I loosened it up, then it started fitting pretty good. So, you know, he had, the original figure had goggles that weren't actually removable. I'm not sure why somebody who has a solid faceplate needs goggles, but, you know, again, that's something that was originally included with the Vipers, so I'm sure that's why they continue to include it. I wouldn't recommend you put it actually over the faceplate. It would be a tight fit, and I think it would look stupid anyway. You probably could if you really wanted to, but again, I don't see a need to actually do that. And then he comes with a rifle, which, you know, isn't bad. This is one for this line. This is probably one of the better looking weapons. Again, just done with a black plastic. You've got the magazine. You've got the little handle up here in the front. But, you know, again, for this line, this is probably one of the better looking weapons that I've seen. And this does not attach, the rifle does not attach anywhere else on the figure, so if he's not holding the rifle, you're going to have to just set it aside. He also comes with a pistol where he does have a holster, so one of those pistols that we've been seeing, which I don't really like, very big kind of looking, looks more like a flare gun or something, but you know, he does come with that, and he does have the working gun holster, and the gun does stay in there nice and tight. The holster itself is a separate piece on the figure, so you could slide it down off the leg if you wanted to. It does actually stay on there pretty good, so I haven't had any issues with that. He's got the backpack. Now, I had to play with the backpack. The hole in the back of the figure does not line up great with the actual vest, so I had to kind of fool with it. Once I finally was able to get it in there pretty good, so it wasn't falling off constantly, but that is something you might have to work with. Again, the hole on the vest doesn't, line up perfectly with the hole on the back. So again, you kind of have to lift the vest up a little bit to match up the hole and then plug in the backpack to really get it to stay in there. So just note that. And the backpack does have some nice detailing. You've got the Cobra symbol, though I do have a little bit of sloppy paint on my Cobra symbol, it looks like. It's not horrible, but a little bit off-centered. You've got the red canisters, you've got the pouches with the straps here, you've got the pouches on the side, you've got the rope, which is in keeping, if I remember correctly, with the original figure. So overall, I do like the detailing on the backpack. But also, it comes with this scarf handkerchief type thing that you can put around the neck. It is, basically just pulls off. Though when you're putting it on, it's probably easier if you just pop the head off than trying to slide it around the neck. I don't know if I really like that, but then if you don't have it on there, you can see his neck is exposed, the skin of his neck. So I'm not sure if I like it better with or without this bandana scarf thing, but that is something that they included, and it is removable. And then the vest itself, like with other figures in the line, is not technically removable. It is a separate piece, but it's not meant to be removed. I don't know why you would on this one. I think it looks good. I like the Cobra symbol here. You've got the red canisters, the grenades here, which are sculpted on there. You've got the pouches and everything. So overall, all that looks good. The only place I don't, here on this belt, this Cobra symbol, the paint is a little messy as well, so not as clean as I would have liked it there. Now jumping back to Firefly, so Firefly for the figure itself, so the figure, the upper body of the figure is the chest area, the torso and everything is the same as far as I can tell as the one that they used for for Beachhead. So you got the same pouches on the arms. The arms seem to be the same. You've got the same kind of line texturing, which I think looks pretty good on the Firefly. So no complaints there. The heads are similar, but I don't think they're exact. They do have some differences between the heads, and then the legs are also different. They're similar looking, but the legs do appear to be different, or the legs on Firefly appear to be different from the ones used on Beachhead. But that upper body is definitely the same body that they used with the Beachhead, which again I think is why you have all that kind of sweater-like texturing on the arms and everything. So, which again I don't think looks bad. I like the camo pattern. Again, the vest is not something I'm a fan of. I think it looks too bulky. It looks like, with this neck piece, it reminds me of something that you would see somebody in a bomb disposal unit wearing, as opposed to somebody who sets bombs. So, I don't know. It just doesn't, I think a lot of you have seen a lot of complaints about the vest, and I kind of share those. I think it just looks too bulky. I would have preferred they had done something like they did with the original, with the original figures. This is like one of the newer 3 3/4 inch, but, they'd done something like this, I think it would have definitely looked better. So, I don't know. I do like the Cobra symbol on the side here on the shoulder pad. I think that looks good, and it's nicely painted, so no sloppiness, no real sloppiness there. And then you've got the camo pattern, like on the side of the head. It's just smooth and clean on the top, but you do have the camo pattern on the sides, which I think all look pretty good, down the arms, down the legs. So I think they've done a pretty good job with that. He's got the knee pads, but those knee pads are different from the ones that are on Beachhead. Same thing with the boots. They're different boots. And you've got the dark gray there for the boots. So, I don't think, the figure is horrible looking or anything. I just think he looks a little too big and bulky, especially with that big collar piece. And to me, it just screams of something you would see like a bomb disposal unit person wearing, as opposed to somebody, a saboteur like Firefly. Now, with the Cobra Viper, to me, this figure is near perfection. If you're somebody who likes, how the original characters looked, and you want these 6-inch figures to mirror their original looks, this figure is, like I said, near perfection. I love the detailing. You've got the silver faceplate, which is not done with a vac metal, but I think, it's nice and shiny, very similar to what we've seen with other figures like Cobra Commander and stuff. I like how you've got, with the red portion here on the side of the helmet, you actually have texturing with the line work, so that's just nice little added detail. You've got the red trim that comes up to the silver faceplate, which I think looks pretty good overall. I was a little worried that you might get some sloppy paint, but it seems like they've done a fairly solid job there. And then the vest, again, is near perfect to representation of the original figure with the grenades and everything, and the red going up over the shoulders. And then you've got the red with the sculpted detail, so it looks like it's leather here on the arms, and then you have that going down the leg. So you have it on the upper leg there, and then it flips over to the inner leg. And I've seen some people questioning that, and that's not exactly how on the original 3 3/4 inch did, but kind of similar. So on the original 3 3/4 inch, you had it so you can see the red stripe is only on the lower leg. And I think this is how the original figure was as well. This is one of the newer Vipers, but I think it was the same. But then you can see it kind of flips over there. So I think that's what they were going for. Now they don't have the red leather on the upper leg on this one, but I think it works. I think it looks pretty good. I don't know why they didn't just do a solid red stripe down the leg, but you know why they kind of flipped it like that. But I think it looks good and pretty much in keeping with the original figure. My only complaint is, again, with the symbol on his belt here. The paint is kind of sloppy, but otherwise, I think this is a near perfect looking figure. And if you're a fan of the original Viper, I think you'll be very happy with this one. Now, the Cobra Viper does appear to be a little bit taller than Firefly, so both figures stand around 6 1/4 inches tall. But again, the Viper is a hair taller than Firefly is here. Now for some comparisons with Firefly, first, once again, here is a comparison with 3 3/4 inch counterpart. Once again, here's a comparison with the Beachhead figure, which uses the same upper body as Firefly, and of course both figures are Target store exclusives. Here's a comparison with the Destro figure, and Destro is taller, as he should be. The Cobra Commander, the regular version of Cobra Commander, and again, Cobra Commander is taller. Now I'm not sure if I would say Cobra Commander should be taller than Firefly. Here I feel like Firefly maybe looks a little short. There's a comparison of the Baroness figure that came with the bike, which is also a Target exclusive, and Firefly is a bit taller than Baroness. And then finally the Cobra Trooper that is also a Target exclusive, and these two are pretty close to the same height. For the Cobra Viper, here's a comparison with the regular edition Cobra Commander figure, and Cobra Commander is a bit taller. Just for the heck of it, here's a comparison of the Wave 1 Snake Eyes figure, which is a little bit shorter than the Viper. Destro and the Baroness. Destro is taller, and Baroness is shorter than the Viper. And then finally the Cobra Trooper, you know, 2 soldiers in the Cobra Army, and both of these are about the same height, and unfortunately both of these are Target exclusives. The good news is we are getting a regular release of the Cobra Trooper, and I wouldn't be surprised if eventually we get a regular release of the Viper as well. Okay, so now for articulation. Now with Firefly, because he does have this vest that limits his midsection articulation, I'm sure he has a torso joint, but you really can't use it because of the vest. He can turn the head all the way around though. He can look down, but he ends up kind of looking into the vest, but he can look down about that much, and then he can look up pretty good as well, and you don't, well, you get a little bit of pivot, but not too much. Then with the arms, you can get the arms out about that much, so not too bad there. You can rotate the arm all the way around. You do have that kind of inner butterfly joint like you have with all the figures in the line, so you get some back and forth movement there. You get a bicep swivel. You get a double hinged elbow, so you can bend his elbow about that much. You get the rotation with the hands, and then he's got the hinges on this hand up here and down here. And then with this one, he's got, you know, the normal placement on the top and the bottom for the up and down movement. You've got rotation there. Again, I'm pretty sure he has some type of ab crunch. You just really can't use it at all because of the vest. He's got rotation there at the waist. So that's pretty much it for the midsection, which is, you know, really kind of disappointing for a character like Firefly. He can do the splits very good, and then you can kind of pull the legs down, and he can get the leg forward. You can get the leg back. He's got a thigh swivel. He's got a double jointed knee, so good bending there at the knee. He's got a boot cuff swivel. He's got hinges on the feet, and of course he does have ankle pivot and 2 peg holes on the bottom of the feet. Now in the Viper, very similar articulation as Firefly. He has a little bit less head movement than Firefly. He can turn the head, he can rotate all the way around. I should also note, I did mention this, but on the back of the helmet, you actually have this lighter gray color. So that's kind of interesting. I'm not sure, I don't actually, yeah, that is something similar to that is included on the original figure, so I guess that's what they were going for. It looks, you know, kind of weird. But anyway, he can look down pretty good, but he really can't look back at all on this one, and then you don't get much in the way of head pivot. With the arms, you can get the arms out good. You've got good rotation. You've got under the vest there, it looks like you have those little butterfly joints, so you've got some back and forth movement there. He's got a bicep swivel. He's got double hinged elbows, so he can bend his elbows good. He's got rotation with the hands, and you have these pieces that come down over the hand, but they are a rubber piece, so that doesn't really limit anything. You do have with these, with this one, the hinges, which you actually are on the top and the bottom, but with this one, you know, you get a little bit of hand movement, but not a whole lot. So on this one, on this hand, it's, you know, in the normal place, so you get more movement, up and down movement with the hand. So not too bad. And then again, like with Firefly, he's got the vest, so even if he has some type of ab crunch, I'm not sure, but if he does, you can't really use it. You've got the rotation there at the waist. You can pivot a little bit to the left and the right there at the waist, but that's about it for midsection. With the legs, he can do the splits about that much. You can get the leg forward pretty good, and you can do the leg back. You've got the thigh swivel. You've got the double jointed knees, so good bending there. You've got the boot cuff swivel. You've got the feet hinges, so up and down movement, and of course ankle pivot, and 2 peg holes on the bottom of the feet. Okay, so that's my review. So overall, I like the Viper. I think the Viper's near perfection, very reminiscent of the original figure. My only minor complaint with the Viper is the little bit of sloppy paint on the belt with the Cobra symbol, and the backpack can be a little bit tricky getting it on. Once you actually get it on, it should stay on there nice and secure, but you do have to kind of fiddle with it and play with the vest and line it up and everything, and that can be a little bit of a pain. The Firefly figure, I don't hate, but I definitely feel could have been better. I don't like the vest. I think it's too bulky on the figure. I think it limits too much of the movement. I also don't like the weapon they included with Firefly. The base figure is solid, and I like all the other accessories that they included with the Firefly, like the drone and the dynamite and everything. But I don't like the gun, and I just really don't like that vest. I'm kind of hopeful that down the road maybe they'll give us a second Firefly without the vest. They'll add some detail to the torso section underneath, and then give us a better weapon. I don't know, but maybe. I do feel that we will see the Viper in the regular line at some point, like they did with the Cobra Trooper. Obviously, the biggest downside to both of these figures is just trying to find them at Target, as them being Target exclusives. So definitely, I did not have a fun time this morning. I had to get up very early. I had to drive 30 minutes away to find the one store that had both figures, and then they only had 6. I was lucky enough, I got there early enough that I was one of the first 6 people there, but other people did join. There was an actual line of people, and some people had to walk away without being able to get either of these figures. So that definitely sucked, and I know other people have had similar experiences. Stores, for the most part, seem to only be getting 1 cases, if they're getting them at all. Some stores haven't even gotten their shipments in. They probably will in the next few days, but so far a lot of stores have not even gotten these in yet. But when they do, for the most part, it seems like they've only been getting 1 case each, which is 6 figures, which obviously is probably not going to fill the demand. One person did tell me that their Target stores had like 18 Vipers. No Fireflies, but 18 Vipers. So hopefully, maybe that is a glimpse of things to come. Maybe Targets will be getting more of these. We can only keep our fingers crossed. But for right now, this very moment, I would say that you're not going to have a very easy time finding either of these 2 figures. I don't recommend that you go to the secondary market like eBay and pay overinflated prices. I would recommend, if you can't find them, just hold off for now, and hopefully either Hasbro will re-release them in the regular line, or Targets will get them in greater numbers. I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments section below. If you can find these figures, I definitely recommend that you pick them up. Like the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, hit the bell notification so you're alerted every time I upload a new video. Have a happy new year. Stay safe out there, guys. And until next time, I'll catch you later.
Hey, thanks for watching today's video, and be sure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and hit that bell notification so you're alerted every time I upload a new video. And be sure to head over to the Toy News International and Marvelous News Message Boards communities. It's a great place to talk toys and win cool contests like $100 store credits to Big Bad Toy Store. And remember, action figures are great.